Welcome to VESPERA. Now, place yourself in the most comfortable position right where you are. Gently release your shoulders, and fully entrust your back to your bed or chair. Relax your jaw, and slowly smooth away all the lines of tension on your forehead and temples. Allow your breath to find its own natural, effortless rhythm. Take a deep, slow, and smooth breath in. Fill yourself with the cool Aegean breeze, carrying the scent of dried mountain thyme and salty sea water. And let your breath out without rushing, floating softly away. Leave all the rush of the day, the complex thoughts weighing on your mind, anxieties, and all unfinished work outside of this room. Tonight, you don't need to be anywhere or reach anything. Time is growing heavy, slowing down, and practically standing still for you. Simply surrender yourself to the endless rhythm of the sea and to this ancient Mediterranean epic being told. We are in one of those magical fairy tale nights of the 8th century BC. King Odysseus of Ithaca and his exhausted sailors, after 10 long and grueling years outside the walls of Troy, are finally navigating the open seas to return home. We are in the very middle of the night. The sky is laid over us like a sheet of dark velvet. Millions of bright stars reflect upon the smooth surface of the Mediterranean like scattered diamonds. The wind has settled completely. The vast sea is as calm and flat as a massive sheet of dark glass. You listen to the soft, rhythmic whisper of the wooden bow slicing through the still water. You are one of Odysseus's most loyal and oldest companions. You can feel the weight of the heavy shield you have carried on your shoulder for years, the pressure of the bronze spear in your hand, and the sweet tiredness that the sea salt has left on your skin. But tonight, there is no battle. Tonight, there are no clashing swords, no shouted commands, or roaring storms. Tonight, there is only rest and letting yourself fall into the compassionate arms of sleep. As the ship moves slowly forward, a magical island begins to rise out of the night's dim light and the soft mist near the water's edge. This is the island of Aeaea, the mysterious home of the sorceress Queen Circe, daughter of the sun god Hylas, and ancient guardian of nature and healing herbs. Your ship glides toward the island's glass-like, quiet bay, completely sheltered from the wind. The rowers take their final strokes and pull the wooden oars inside. As the wooden keel touches the soft, wet sand, you hear the shallowing rhythm of the water. The deep, resonant splash as the anchor drops into the sea echoes in the tranquility of the night before fading away. Stepping onto the shore, you feel the smooth structure of the wet pebbles beneath your unsandaled feet and draw in the enchanting scent of the island. This island is filled with the healing scents of wild laurel trees, blooming jasmine, pine needles, and damp, earthy soil. As the night breeze gently rustles through the silver leaves of the olive trees, a mesmerizing melody drifts to your ears from the stone palace high on the island's hill. This is the voice of Circe. The sorceress queen sits at her loom made from a massive cedar tree in the palace courtyard, sliding her golden shuttle back and forth as she weaves a timeless fabric. The ancient, velvety lullaby she sings while weaving invites all living creatures on the island into a profound stillness. You begin walking with slow, peaceful steps up the path toward the palace. With every single step, you feel the heavy fatigue in your legs and calves draining down into the ground. The earth absorbs your exhaustion and gives you peace in return. Reaching the high oak doors of the palace, wild wolves lying by the door and lions emerging from the shadows come forward to meet you. But these animals do not attack. Tamed completely by the healing herbs and lullabies prepared by Circe, they have returned to nature's calmest state. Stretching like domestic house cats, they rub their soft fur against your legs before stretching out on the warm stones of the courtyard to fall into a deep sleep. Circe slowly parts the heavy oak doors. On her face is a compassionate and peaceful smile, completely free of care. The warm, yellow light of the brass lantern in her hand illuminates the stone corridor. She invites you and the weary sailors inside, into the warm heart of the palace. Inside the palace, olive and oak would burn in a large stone fireplace. The gentle crackle of the wood and its familiar, comforting scent fill the entire room. Circe fills silver goblets with a warm drink mixed from healing honey, mountain apples, and sweet goat's milk. As you take the goblet in your hand, its warmth spreads from your fingertips throughout your entire body. Every small sip you take glides down your throat, dissolving all the tension in your chest and leaving a sweet warmth in your stomach and within you. Circe whispers in a low, relaxing voice. The night is long, sailors. Victories, the sound of swords, and the wild waves of the seas are all behind you. This is where time slows down, and weary souls rest. Now it is time to rest your mind and surrender to that healing sleep that even warriors need. You lie down on the thick, plush rugs and soft leather cushions laid across the palace floor. As you watch the dancing yellow shadows of the flames on the wall, your eyelids grow a little heavier. The last remnant of alertness inside you melts away. You surrender yourself completely to the safety of the island, the palace, and the night. After long, restful days spent in the healing palace of Circe, your body and mind are completely cleansed of the fatigue accumulated over the years. However, to learn the ultimate and safest path to Ithaca, to your green-hilled home for which you long, you must make a short journey toward the greatest mystery of ancient times. The sorceress Queen Circe guides you to the edge of the underworld, to consult the spirit of the wise prophet Tiresias, who sees beyond time itself. The ship departs quietly from the sandy beach of the island of Aeaea in the earliest and dimmest hours of the morning, before the sun has yet risen, when the sky is blanketed in a sweet shade of purple. As a gentle northerly breeze curves into the sails, the wooden hull of the ship glides smoothly over the sea. The sound of the water is almost like a delicate whisper. This journey takes you to the farthest border of the known world, into the depths of the massive Oceanus River that encircles the earth, to the dark Cimmerian lands where fog and darkness never fade. This is a timeless place where harsh winds cease, waves recede, and the sea grows heavy like dark liquid mercury. Sunlight can never pierce the veil of fog here, so the environment remains in a permanent, dim twilight that naturally rests a person's eyes. As you approach the Cimmerian shores, there is not the slightest noise in the air. There is no howling wind, no cheerful human voices, and no cries of seagulls. There is only the relaxing sound of the rowers dipping their oars into the wet water and drawing them out in steady, rhythmic, and slow movements. The oar meets the water, gently pushes it back, and glides through the air once more. Every single stroke of the oar slows down the rhythm of your thoughts just a little more, making them a little heavier. When you step onto the shore, the ground beneath your feet is covered with fine black volcanic sand and smooth, round pebbles polished by the water over many years. A dense yet warm fog rises up to your knees, supporting your every step like a soft carpet made of cotton. Upon reaching the place of offering described by Circe, the shadow of the wise Tiresias emerges from the mist with slow, dignified steps. Tiresias carries a long staff carved from dark, smooth oak. When he lightly touches the lower tip of his staff to the stone ground, a deep, resonant, and soul-soothing frequency echoes through the night and the fog. This sound is like a healing vibration that sweeps away the very last traces of anxiety from your mind. The wise Tiresias looks toward Odysseus and you, the weary sailors standing beside him. Upon his face is a calm and reassuring expression carrying the tranquility of centuries. He begins to speak in a low, velvety, and deeply soothing tone of voice. Glorious Odysseus and his faithful companions, you wish to return to your home, to the olive-scented peaceful hills of Ithaca. This desire is your most natural right. But you wish to be protected from the wrath of the sea and of fate, and to not lose your way. For this, you must first quiet the turbulent waves within your mind. The more you fight against the sea and the flow of life, the more the sea will fight against you. What you need is not more effort, more strength, or more struggle. All you need is complete surrender. Let yourself drift into the flow of the Mediterranean, into the will of the wind, and into the mercy of the night. The moment you stop trying to control, the sea will naturally carry you to where you belong, into the safe arms of your home. These profound words of Tiresias create a massive wave of relief that spreads through your mind. In that moment, you realize that constantly trying to manage everything in life and anxiously waiting for the future is the only thing that exhausts a person. Just like stopping your oars on a windless, calm sea and letting the ship drift freely over the water, you completely release all control in your body and relax every tense muscle. Your shoulders drop down a little further. The breaths going in and out of your chest become broader, deeper, and remarkably smooth. As the shadow of the wise Tiresias slowly dissolves and disappears into the mist, he leaves behind a vast, unbreakable stillness. The land of shadows is left behind. Your ship begins to glide silently once more toward the open sea, illuminated by the stars, making you feel entirely safe. When the ship emerges once more into the smooth waters of the open sea, before you lies the greatest and most mysterious legend told by sailors for centuries in tales, the island of the Sirens. The Sirens are sea nymphs sitting upon steep, smooth, and sharp rocks in the middle of the vast ocean, enchanting sailors with their voices and sweeping them away into a timeless, infinite sleep. Remembering the wise advice of Circe, Odysseus completely covers the ears of all rowers and sailors on board with sweet beeswax softened in the sun. This way, no one will be captivated by that alluring voice and stray from their course. However, you and Odysseus wish to experience this unique and magical journey, to hear the deepest, most relaxing lullaby of the universe with your own ears. Odysseus has himself bound tightly with ropes to the ship's massive pine mast. As for you, you lie back comfortably on the main deck upon piles of soft ropes warmed by the sun. Your ears are open, but your mind is completely safe. Because you have decided to welcome this song not as a scary danger, but as a healing melody that will rest your soul and prepare you for a deep sleep. As you draw closer to the island of the Sirens, nature wraps itself in a miraculous silence. The harsh wind cuts off completely. The sails float with a sweet curve against the wooden mast and become still. The Mediterranean becomes entirely motionlessly flat, like a crystal layer of deep blue glass. There is not the slightest ripple, not a single trace of foam upon the water. And in that moment, over the steep rocks, that velvety, smooth, and spellbinding voice begins to rise. The song of the Sirens is far beyond any sound a mortal human could produce. It is like a miraculous blend of a warm summer breeze whispering through the leaves, the sound of tiny foam bubbles washing onto the beach, the smoothest note rising from the string of a lyre, and the lullaby a loving mother sings to her baby. They do not sing the song from the outside. They whisper it directly into the most secret, calmest, and most peaceful corner of your mind. Come here, glorious Odysseus and his weary companions. Tired sailors of the seas, of years of wars, and of endless journeys. Cast behind you the dust of Troy, the clashing of swords, and all the weight of the past. Here, there is only infinite peace, a sweet forgetfulness, and a profound tranquility. Close your eyes. Let yourself drift into the flow of the water, the night, and time itself. You no longer need to strive for anything. You need to prove nothing, nor win anything. Just listen, and surrender yourself to the safe arms of sleep. The melody of the song erases all anxieties from your mind, all regrets of the past, and all plans for the future, one by one. The voice is so velvety, so warm, that your body grows completely heavy upon the pile of ropes. Your head gently tilts to the side. Your chest rises and falls rhythmically, like the ticking of a clock, extremely slow. The sea, the sky, the wooden ship, and the song of the sirens merge into a single vast sea of peace. Every single muscle in your body fully relaxes to the rhythm of this lullaby. A light, perfume-scented night breeze caresses your face. The ship glides smoothly through the windless yet drifting water, leaving the island of the Sirens behind without a single trace of harm. As the sweet, magical echoes of the song fade into the distance, they give way to the serene wave sounds of the night. As you move farther from the shore, you listen to the soft, healing rhythm of the water gently lapping against the hull. After leaving the island of the Sirens behind, the open sea prepares you and Odysseus for one of the most secluded, hidden corners of the Mediterranean. As days and nights follow one another, the sea rocks your ship softly like a mother. On the horizon, in the middle of endless blueness, a mesmerizing piece of land shines like a green diamond. This is the island of Ogygia, the timeless sanctuary where the beautiful braided nymph Calypso lives. Ogygia is a paradise where the harsh winds of the world, wars, anxieties, and even time itself never visit, completely standing still. As your ship glides toward the island's natural harbor, the seawater is so crystal clear that you can see the smooth white sands at the bottom and the colorful fish floating beneath the surface, one by one. You dip and pull your oars through the water for the last time. The sound of the water merges with the deep silence wrapping around the island. The moment you step foot onto the shore, you feel an unforgettable relaxation on your skin. In the air is the soothing, healing scent of freshly bloomed violets, sweet purple irises, and grand cypress trees. As you walk toward the inner parts of the island, you realize that nature was specially designed to lull a person to sleep. Ripe, purple grape clusters hang from the vineyards surrounding deep caves. Clear, cool water springs flowing from 4 separate sources stream smoothly over tiny, polished pebbles. The sounds of the water blend together, creating a fairy tale melody formed by nature itself that completely empties the mind. Calypso waits in front of her cave. She wears a delicate dress shining like silver and a golden belt around her waist. The calmness on her face and the deep serenity in her eyes immediately captivate you. She invites you and the weary sailors into her cave. This cave is very different from the dark, cold stone structures you know. Its interior is filled with the fragrant smoke of burning cedar and cypress wood. The stone walls are covered with the soft leaves of ivy. Calypso whispers in a low, relaxing voice. "You have come from very far away, sailors. The exhaustion of years has accumulated in your eyes, on your shoulders, and in your souls. In Ogygia, time does not flow. Here, there is no aging, no suffering, and no rush to reach anywhere. Surrender yourselves to the timelessness of this island. Surrender to the tender arms of the healing waters, the purple vineyards, and the night. Calypso offers you honey and fresh figs in deep wooden bowls. The sweet aroma and texture of the fig warms you inside. You lie down upon gazelle skins and soft feather cushions laid across the cave floor. Your body gently sinks into the soft cushions. The rhythmic flow of the springs outside, the delicate whisper of the wind blowing through the branches of the cypress trees, and the light crackle of the wood in the hearth turn into one single, massive lullaby. As all the weight in your body slowly drains into the ground, your mind grows completely weightless. Neither the sad memories of the past nor the uncertainties of the future can disturb you. On Calypso's island, there is only this moment, a smooth, serene, and endless moment of peace. Your eyelids grow extremely heavy under the influence of this healing atmosphere. Your breathing completely synchronizes with the gentle rhythm of the springs. You take a deep breath in, drawing in the scented air of the cypress trees. And slowly letting it out, you surrender yourself to a deep, unbroken sleep in this timeless paradise. After departing from Calypso's timeless and serene island, the sea carries you and Odysseus toward your final stop, the fairy tale land of Scheria, the seafaring kingdom of the Phaeacians. The Phaeacians are an ancient people living under the protection of the gods, knowing no war, spending their lives only with the sea, art, music, and peace. Their country is like a mysterious paradise where storms and turmoil never reach, governed by an endless climate of spring. As the ship draws closer to the Phaeacian shores, even the scent of the sea changes. In the air is a magnificent combination of ripe figs, sweet grapes dried in the sun, citrus orchards, and that relaxing, fresh iodine scent coming from the sea. The road leading to King Alcinous's palace consists of smooth stone paths lined on both sides with giant olive trees and blooming pomegranate orchards. Walking along this path, with every step, you feel the heavy pressure left on you by years of fatigue and sea storms being wiped away. King Alcinous and his daughter, Princess Nausicaa, welcome you in the grand and peaceful courtyard of the palace. In the courtyard are two large marble fountains whose waters never cease. The healing rhythmic sound made by the clear, cool water flowing from the fountains as it falls into the marble basin creates a fairy tale melody enveloping the entire palace. The water gently flowing washes away any remaining traces of restlessness from your mind. You are invited onto thick, soft rugs and plush cushions laid across the palace floor. King Alcinous asks the royal bard Demodocus to play his silver lyre. The bard Demodocus is a wise man whose eyes cannot see, but whose soul is filled with endless light. The smooth, velvety, and relaxing tones produced when he touches the strings of the lyre echo in the high ceilings of the palace. The song the bard sings does not tell of wars or pain. The song tells of the tranquility of deep blue seas, sweet sleep under olive trees, and the infinite peace found by weary sailors returning home. While listening to this enchanting music, the Phaeacian sailors prepare a special ship for you. The ships of the Phaeacians are nothing like the vessels of mortal men. These ships have no helmsman, no rowers, or men managing the sails. Phaeacian ships are almost alive. They possess a mind and only feel the desires of their passengers. They are never caught in storms, never strike rocks, and move almost flying over the smooth surface of the sea. No matter how fierce the sea may be, the interior of this magical ship is always stormless, always motionless, and completely serene like a baby's cradle. In the twilight of the evening, the Phaeacian sailors invite you onto the deck of this magical ship. Upon the deck, a giant bed made of the softest linen fabrics, filled with freshly dried lavender and chamomile flowers, has been prepared for you. The moment you lie down on the bed, you feel your body sinking sweetly into the fabric. All the muscles in your legs, arms, and back become completely free of tension. King Alcinous whispers in a low, gentle voice. You have reached the end of the journey, weary sailors. The home you have been searching for years, that safe harbor you longed for, is only one night away. Now close your eyes and surrender yourselves to the miraculous gliding of the Phaeacian ship. While you sleep, this ship will carry you across the dark waters and deliver you into the compassionate arms of your home. The ship quietly leaves the harbor. There is not a single or stroke against the water. The ship glides like a swan in the darkness of the night under the stars. This smooth movement of the ship and the light whisper coming from beneath the water draw you toward the deepest, most healing, and most peaceful sleep of your life. Your chest slowly rises and falls. Your breath merges with the rhythm of the sea. You are safe now. You are very close to home. The miraculous, almost living ship of the Phaeacians, guided solely by the inner desires of its passengers, quietly departs from the tranquil harbor of Scheria at the deepest hour of the night, when the stars shine brightest. This vessel is unlike any ordinary wooden boat built by mortal hands. It requires no helmsman, nor does it need massive cloth sails that catch the wind and weary the crew. The ship moves across the smooth surface of the Mediterranean as light as a feather, as graceful as a swan, gliding like a dream floating upon the water. No matter how deep the sea or how dark the night, the interior of this magical ship remains perpetually stormless, motionless, and serene, just like a cradle holding a sleeping child in its mother's arms. You and Odysseus lie back upon the fairy tale bed prepared specially for you on the deck. This bed consists of a massive cushion woven from the softest linen fabrics of Scheria, filled with fresh lavender, chamomile, and sage leaves dried under the sun. From the very first moment you surrender your body to this warmth, you feel yourself sinking sweetly into its softness. All the old tension lingering in your back, lower spine, and legs begins to dissolve, one by one. The heavy, hardened fatigue accumulated over years of battlefields, stormy seas, and wet decks drains out of your body, flowing into the wooden deck and down into the healing depths of the sea. As the ship slices through the dark waters, there is no sound of clashing oars, nor the creaking of ropes. The only sound heard is the faint, rhythmic whisper as the smooth hull meets the water. This sound acts as an ancient frequency, sweeping away the very last traces of thought from your mind and completely resting the soul. The sky stretches above you like a sheet of deep navy velvet. The North Star and the bright diamond lights of the Milky Way reflect upon the dark, glass-like surface of the sea. A feeling takes over you, as if you are not floating on water, but gliding weightlessly through an endless space filled with stars. Gravity disappears, the weight of your body vanishes, and all anxieties regarding time are completely erased. On this journey, neither the painful memories of the past can disturb you, nor can the uncertainties of the future occupy your mind. There is only this present moment. There is only the compassionate embrace of the night, the rhythmic, peaceful whisper of the sea, and the grand gliding of the Phaeacian ship carrying you toward your home. As the night progresses, the temperature settles into that sweet, warm level your body longs for. A light night breeze brings the soothing scent of olive and pine trees from the shore, caressing your face. Your chest rises and falls slowly, like the rhythmic ticking of a clock. With every breath in, your lungs fill with the clean, healing, salty air of the Mediterranean. With every breath out, your body grows one layer heavier, sinking deeper into the bed. Your eyelids are now completely closed. All ties to the outside world are severed, and your mind is drawn into a sweet, dark, and deeply healing sea of sleep. Without shaking, without hurting, and without any rush, The Phaeacian ship continues to carry you toward the ultimate destination you have longed for over the years. The olive-scented, protected shores of Ithaca. Now, simply enjoy this unique gliding and the absolute stillness of the night. You are completely safe now. Everything is over. Now is the time to rest. When the night reaches its darkest, deepest, and most peaceful moment, the miraculous and legendary ship of the Phaeacians continues to slice through the dark waters of the Mediterranean, as light and smooth as a swan's feathers. On this fairy tale journey where time, space, and worldly anxieties completely lose their meaning, there is neither a storm cloud in the sky nor the slightest restlessness on the surface of the sea. The stars shine like diamonds upon the dark blue velvet sheet of the sky. Their lights reflect upon the tiny, silent water bubbles forming around the ship, softening the darkness of the night. You and Odysseus, lying inside that soft bed scented with fresh lavender and chamomile on the deck, are in the arms of a sleep deeper, more healing, and more unbroken than any you have ever experienced in your life. Every single muscle in your body has completely released that heavy, hardened fatigue left behind by years of battles, fierce waves, cold winds, and endless journeys. Your back is sunk into the softness of the bed, your arms and legs are completely relaxed, and your mind has taken refuge in a harbor so safe and serene that no thought, no anxiety can ever reach it. Then, the eastern horizon slowly begins to change color. The morning star shines at the highest point of the sky, announcing the tidings of a new day. Just before the first rays of the morning appear, during those smooth pink, purple, and golden yellow hours of dawn, a silhouette emerges from behind a light curtain of mist. This is Ithaca, the homeland of your ancestors, the safe and peaceful haven you have dreamed of for years, crossed seas for, and searched for in your dreams. The Phaeacian ship glides slowly toward Phorcys Bay, the most protected, most secret, and calmest harbor of Ithaca. This place is like a natural embrace sheltered on both sides by high, steep cliffs covered with ancient olive trees shining with silver leaves, where wind and fierce waves can never enter. The waters of the harbor are so motionless that the colors of dawn in the sky reflect directly upon the water's surface like a giant mirror. As the ship enters the serene waters of the bay, the faint, rhythmic whisper made by the water touching the wooden hull slows down completely. The Phaeacian sailors move with immense gentleness and silence so as not to disturb the healing sleep of you and Odysseus. They do not whisper a single word, nor do they make a single piece of wood creak. The oars are pulled completely out of the water. The ship approaches the shore with its own soft momentum, and its smooth lower hull lightly touches the wet, soft sand and smooth pebbles. This touch is so soft that it does not disrupt the sweet, deep flow of your sleep in the slightest way. The Phaeacian sailors slowly lift Odysseus and you, together with the soft covers and feather cushions beneath you. They gently place you beneath the compassionate shade of the grand ancient olive tree on the shore, upon the soft sands warmed by the sun. Beside you, they quietly place silver goblets, woven fabrics, and golden cups presented as gifts from King Alcinous of Scheria. The soil of Ithaca is warm. The sound of tiny waves washing onto the shore blends with the whisper of the very light, warm morning breeze blowing through the leaves of the olive trees. In the air is the fresh scent of sea salt, dried mountain thyme, olive blossoms, and the rich, reassuring scent of the earth. Ithaca has embraced you. There are no more storms to run from, no monsters to fight, or dangerous seas to cross. All duties are complete, all searches have ended, and all struggles have been successfully fulfilled. As you lie here in the shade of this grand olive tree, on the soil of your home, the last remnant of tension in your body drains into the ground. What fills your inside is only infinite safety, absolute peace and divine tranquility. Your breathing merges completely with the rhythm of those very gentle waves washing onto the shore of Ithaca. You breathe in slowly. Your lungs fill with that familiar, healing scent of your home. And letting your breath out slowly, you continue to fall into a deep, unbroken, and restorative sleep with the unmatched peace of being home. Palace Fireplace and infinite sleep. Your deep and healing sleep, which began at dawn in the shade of the compassionate ancient olive tree in the secret, hidden Phorcys Bay of Ithaca, continues unbroken as the sun rises sweetly in the sky and spreads its golden rays across the earth. The warm morning breeze of Ithaca gently whispers upon you the healing scents of coastal sea pines, mountain thyme dried in the sun, purple-flowered sage, and fresh olive leaves. Your body is bathed in the natural warmth of the earth, while your soul is cleansed with that unshakable, refuge-like feeling of security coming from finally being in your own home after all these years, returning to where you belong. You and Odysseus slowly and without any rush open your eyes in this fairy tale atmosphere where time grows heavy. Yet this awakening is not one of haste, anxiety, or the rush of daily life. It is a healing, serene transition where the body is completely refreshed and the mind attains a crystal clarity. Sitting up and looking around, you see your own silhouette reflected in the motionless, clear waters of the bay. Those old battle lines on your face, the tension in your temples, the heavy pressure on your shoulders, and that look of deep fatigue in your eyes have completely disappeared. They have yielded their place to the infinite serenity of the Mediterranean and your own homeland. You begin walking with calm, slow, and dignified steps up from the shore, following the smooth path lined with olive trees toward the green hills where the royal palace rests. With every single step you take, you feel the pressure of the heavy armor, bronze shields, rusted swords, and spears you carried on your back for years completely vanishing. There is no longer an enemy to fight, a fierce storm to overcome, or a victory to prove to anyone. All duties are complete, all prophecies fulfilled, all arduous paths traversed, and the search has ended. When you enter the grand courtyard of the palace, you are greeted by the softness of that famous, timeless fabric woven by Penelope's own hands, and the reassuring scent of the large stone fireplace where olive wood burns. The light, rhythmic crackle of dry olive and oak wood burning slowly in the stone fireplace echoes against the high, ancient stone walls of the palace. This crackle is the most familiar, most healing sound you have known since childhood, reminding you of the safest, most carefree, and most peaceful days of your youth. The smoke from the wood floats through the stone opening in the ceiling toward the sky, while a sweet, relaxing warmth that warms your chest spreads throughout the room. You slowly let yourself down onto the thick, plush rugs and soft leather cushions laid across the palace floor. You watch the warm, yellow, and orange shadows of the flames dancing on the wall. That sweet warmth spreading from the fireplace begins first in your toes, then spreads like a healing balm to your legs, your chest, and your entire body. The very last trace of coldness, the final remnant of fatigue inside you completely melts away in the presence of this warmth. That soft fabric woven by Penelope is draped over you. The texture of the cloth is so light that you feel as if a cloud rests upon you. You are home. You are safe. You are in that most sacred place where you are loved, awaited, and protected. The soft, rhythmic sounds of the waves coming from deep within the sea echo in the palace courtyard. This sound merges with the faint crackle of the wood in the fireplace to compose the universe's most perfect lullaby for your mind. Now, slowly close your eyelids, never to open them again. Feel your body growing completely heavy, floating down into the bed, the cushions, and the earth. Your mind merges like a drop of water into the infinite, peaceful, and healing depths of the sea. There is nothing else to do. There is nowhere else to go. The past is left behind, and all plans for the future are erased. There is only this present moment. There is only this peaceful Ithaca night. Take a deep, smooth, and slow breath in. Fill your lungs with the olive-scented, fireplace-warmed air of Ithaca, and let your breath out floatingly, without rushing. Completely surrender yourself to the compassionate arms of the night, your home, and absolute tranquility. Now, simply sleep. Fall into a deep, unbroken, healing, and infinite sleep.